Hi students, welcome to Alphos e-learning chemistry classes for second year. The running chapter is organic chemistry and now we are in session number 29. In previous session we discussed about the properties of alcohols, that is depending on the bond cleavage, where in last session we discussed about the reactions due to OH bond cleavage, that is nothing but between oxygen and hydrogen when the bond breaks. The properties that are expected from alcohols we discussed, and majorly it is nothing but due to acidic character. Clear? And now the next type of reactions are due to bond cleavage between carbon and oxygen, that is nothing but, say for example, general formula of alcohol when we are writing RCH2OH like this, the bond here, the bond cleaves, that is when the bond is breaking here, it will go out in the form of minus and it will get positive. This type of reactions, actually all alcohols, for example primary alcohols and secondary alcohols and tertiary alcohols, all these alcohols, just you observe, these are different alcohols where the OH is present on primary carbon or on secondary carbon or on tertiary carbon. All these are undergoing this type of reactions by breaking the bond between carbon and oxygen, and that such reactivity, the reactivity in involving the bond breaking between carbon and oxygen is of having the order like this: tertiary alcohols more reactive than secondary alcohols, more reactive than primary alcohols. Just you remember, it is the bond cleavage between tertiary carbon and oxygen is easy. The reason is simple: after bond cleavage it is of able to form stable carbocation, and as the bond cleavage leads to the formation of carbocation, stable carbocation can easily form. That's why it is clear. And next, in case of phenol, just let us have a look at it. In case of phenol, as phenol is having a lone pair of electron on oxygen, it can involve in conjugation, and thereby in last session also we discussed about this, and thereby the oxygen and carbon bond is of getting double bond character, and because of the double bond character, in general the CO bond cleavage reactions are not observed in phenols. But that phenol, when it is of distilled or when it is heated with zinc, in this carbon oxygen bond cleaves and it is of forming benzene like this. Here instead of OH it is of having hydrogen. Oxygen is going along with zinc forming ZnO. Already you know about this, the method of preparation for benzene from phenol. Already you completed in your junior inter, is it not? This type of reactions, and you have to here for competitive purpose what you have to observe, what you have to remember is nothing but in this CO bond cleavage the reaction intermediate is always carbocation. And next, in such type of reactions where CO bond cleaves, the order of reactivity is like this, and the reason is nothing but it is the CO bond cleavage leads to formation of carbocation, and tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary, and we know that stable the carbocation, that is stability is more easy to form. That is the reason it is involving. And in phenol no such reaction except with zinc, that too in zinc it is not forming any carbocation, you remember. And now in this type of questions, that is in this type of reactions, that is nothing but reactions involving CO bond cleavage, we can discuss two types majorly. One is nothing but reaction with HX with this one, and what is happening in this case? Simply it is of following SN reaction mechanism, and where first of all this alcohol is protonated, and from HX H plus will attack on this OH, and where it is of now giving OH plus protonated alcohol. And as we know, OH minus is strong nucleophile actually when compared to X minus, but once it is protonated, now it becomes weak, and thereby now this weak protonated OH group will be easily substituted by this, and where it is giving RX plus H2O. This is one type of reaction. Clear? And now in this case, for our competitive mode of exam, simply what we have to consider is the reaction with Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent, you remember this Lucas reagent is nothing but concentrated HCl and ZnCl2 anhydrous. These two mixture is known as Lucas reagent. Concentrated HCl plus anhydrous ZnCl2. Clear? With this one, we can distinguish primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols, because with this Lucas reagent, the reactivity of these three is different, and that reactivity which is of lead to the formation of turbidity. Turbidity is nothing but some sort of gassing. It is, say for example, when it is pure water. In that pure water, if one drop milk or buttermilk is added, what is happening? Some sort of gassing is observed. Such type of nature, that is nothing but losing its purity. Simply we can say that is known as turbidity. Turbidity. And now when the Lucas reagent is added to alcohols, and these alcohols are able to form some sort of turbidity, semi-precipitate, simply you can also think like that towards this turbidity. Turbidity is nothing but it is not complete precipitation. Similarly, it is not complete pure form. In between, just you have to think that one, when pure water is added with 1 drop of buttermilk, what is happening? That gassiness is nothing but known as turbidity formation. Clear? A similar appearance will happen in this case. And now the question is, in case of competitive examination, the question is why the turbidity is formed when this Lucas reagent is nothing but HCl plus anhydrous ZnCl2. This plus ZnCl2 mixture when added, why these alcohols are able to form turbidity? Just you remember. Here, in general, just think, in case of alcohols, either they are primary alcohols or whether they are secondary alcohols or they are tertiary alcohols, whatever the nature it may be. These three types of alcohols, because of their peculiar character, that is their ability to form hydrogen bond with oxygen of water, that is to form hydrogen bond with water, they are miscible with water. These are soluble in water, is it not? It is miscible or solubility. So alcohols, because of OH presence, and they are able to form hydrogen bond, thereby they are miscible. Miscible means simply you can consider it is mixable. Mixable means they are soluble. Clear? And now when they are miscible, in case if this alcohol is, that is OH group is suddenly replaced by chlorine group, like this, not only chlorine, any halogen, and now all of a sudden this OH, when it is of replaced by chlorine, here when Lucas reagent is added to these alcohols, we can expect that OH is replaced by chlorine. Okay, no doubt at all. So that is nothing but they are converted into halides. And just you remember, my dear students, alcohols, primary, secondary or tertiary, these three type of alcohols, no doubt at all, they are miscible, but their halides are immiscible. They are not mixable with this water or with the solution, with the solvent. Clear? And now when they are in alcohol form, they are miscible, thereby pure solution will form. But once this alcohol OH group is replaced by halogen, their halides, that is primary or secondary or tertiary halides are immiscible in water, and when they are immiscible, automatically they are coming out as a precipitate. It is nothing but as a semi-precipitate will form, because they are not having the capacity to mix with the water. Are you following? Mixable, nothing but soluble. And immiscible means they are not soluble, completely they are not soluble. Why? Because they are not having the capacity to form hydrogen bond. These are covalent, somewhat slightly, very slightly polar covalent bonds. When covalent bonds, you know, the ionic compounds or the polar compounds are soluble in water, but once they are non-polar, automatically are covalent compounds, they are insoluble in water. Already we know regarding the solubility, like dissolves like. Water is polar solvent, and if it is, when compared to this, it is less polar. That's why they are less miscible. Because of that less miscibility, this alcohol when converted to a halide, it is of forming some turbidity. And now the question is, when turbidity is happened with a HCl in presence of ZnCl2, just you remember, this tertiary alcohol doesn't require any ZnCl2 presence. That is, even without the Lucas reagent, just by adding HCl, this is of forming, that is tertiary alcohol is forming turbidity within no time. That means immediately it will form the turbidity, no time. That is, immediate turbidity can be observed. And whereas this primary alcohols, to react with HCl, they required the Lucas reagent ZnCl2. It is nothing but because it is of having very less reactivity with HCl, and thereby it is unable to form, these primary alcohols are unable to form turbidity at room temperature. You remember, they are unable to form turbidity at room temperature. Even after long time, they are unable to form turbidity. And immediately turbidity, tertiary alcohol. And now regarding secondary alcohols, they are forming turbidity after few minutes. So now you can observe or you can distinguish these primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols by treating with the HCl, that is Lucas reagent. In case of tertiary alcohols, we will get, or they are forming immediate turbidity. That means the alcohol which is of forming immediate turbidity when treated with Lucas reagent is nothing but tertiary. And if it is of forming the turbidity after few minutes, then it is secondary. And in case if the alcohol, even after addition of this Lucas reagent, if it is of taking much time and under normal condition, that is at room temperature, if it is not at all forming the turbidity, then we can say that it is nothing but primary alcohol. Like that we can distinguish from this reaction among primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. And now coming to the reaction, this type of reaction, alcohols are also having the reactions with PX3, PBr3 like, and there also we are expecting the bond cleavage between carbon and oxygen. Just you observe, ROH, when it is treated with PBr3, now it is forming RBr, 3 moles will react, 3 RBr plus H3PO3. Here the bond is breaking and it is replaced by Br. This is one more that is a reaction where CO bond cleavage is involved. And next, B category type of reaction, this CO bond cleavage leads to elimination. Just you remember, elimination reactions are also involving CO bond, and this elimination is happened either in presence of protic acids, strong acids like concentrated H2SO4, or it may be in presence of concentrated H3PO4, or it may be the catalyst like Al2O3 or anhydrous GnCl2, or it may be with P2O5, like that. In presence of these reagents also, they can go for elimination, which is involving CO bond cleavage. Clear? And now let us go for the mechanism that involved in the elimination of these alcohols. And just you observe here, first mechanism. Before going to mechanism, again let us consider the factor that is nothing but primary, where the OH is present, secondary or tertiary. Among these different alcohols, in elimination reaction with the same catalyst, say for example H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4, it requires high drastic condition. Even with 100% concentrated H2SO4, this at 443 will undergo elimination, giving CH2CH2. And now coming to this secondary alcohol, just to observe, it need not take 100% concentrated, just 85% concentrated H2SO4 is sufficient, and that to 440 Kelvin temperature is sufficient so as to create the alkene like this. And now in case of tertiary alcohol, still very less concentrated, 20% H2SO4 is also sufficient, and here 353 Kelvin temperature is also sufficient to create the elimination like this, CH3 double bond CH2. With all this, what we can observe is towards the elimination reaction, in all these eliminations, just you remember, the reaction intermediate is nothing but a carbocation, no doubt at all. Clear? And now in all these, when with increasing the degree of alcohol, just you observe, with increasing the degree of alcohols, the conditions, drastic condition requires, that is nothing but mild conditions are also supporting for this elimination. The drastic, that is the vigorous nature of the catalyst or the condition can be reduced with increasing the degree of alcohol. That means even at mild conditions also this tertiary is going for elimination, but where only at a higher, that is a vigorous condition or drastic condition, only primary alcohol is undergoing elimination. With this one we can conclude that the reactivity towards the elimination is nothing but tertiary is more reactive than secondary, more reactive than primary alcohols. Are you following? It is nothing but only the conditions what we are observing. As the drasticity, that is nothing but the intensity of the condition is decreasing, means this substrate is supporting for the elimination. Are you following? And that support is elimination for that support is supporting for elimination is proportional to the degree of the alcohol. When compared to primary, secondary alcohols are more easy to go for elimination, and when compared to secondary, even tertiary alcohols are still more easy to go for elimination reactions. Are you following? So that's why the reactivity for the elimination reaction all follows the order like this. Clear? And now the mechanism. Actually, when we are considering the elimination reactions, already we discussed in our GOC videos, and again for your convenience sake I am again explaining here regarding the types of eliminations. Actually, eliminations depending on the leaving group presence or depending on the carbons from which the leaving groups are going out. These are of two kinds. One is alpha beta elimination, what we are considering in case of alkyl halides and alcohols, and second one is nothing but alpha alpha elimination. And first let me explain this one, alpha alpha elimination. The best known example is nothing but haloform. When it is involved in Remer-Tiemann reaction, this haloform is undergoing alpha alpha elimination. In this alpha alpha elimination, the reaction intermediate is nothing but carbene, just you remember. And here this haloform when treated with alcoholic KOH or NaOH, this OH will make this H plus to go with it, and thereby after giving the electron to this, it is giving Cl, Cl and Cl, and these two will go out in the form of H2O, and that is from this carbon hydrogen going out. At the same time, when this negative charge is present on less electronegative carbon, immediately it will release the electron to this chlorine, and it is now settled as chlorine with two odd electrons. This is nothing but dichlorocarbene. So this alpha alpha, here you observe from this carbon, alpha carbon, hydrogen went out, and now chlorine is also from the same carbon. That's why it is known as alpha alpha elimination. And just you remember, in alpha alpha elimination, the electron, one of the group will go by releasing the electron to carbon, and the second group will go by taking the electrons from the carbon. So it releases and it takes. The net result is carbon is not getting any charge, because when hydrogen is donating the electron, the donated electron is now donated to chlorine. And now what is the net result on carbon? One electron comes, one electron goes. The net result is no electron is retained with this carbon. That's why it is behaving as carbene. Carbene is nothing but biradical, two odd electrons. Clear? That is about. And this alpha alpha elimination is also known as simply alpha elimination. You can consider, instead of 2 times you can pronounce, or this is also known as 1-1 elimination. 1-1 on the same carbon, on the same carbon. That's all. And next one is our reference here. Alcohols elimination is nothing but related to alpha beta elimination. Alpha beta elimination. Here one of the leaving group is from alpha carbon and the second leaving group is from beta carbon. That's all, simply. And now let me give the example with this. Here elimination of alcohol. It is of taking place like this. In step 1, this CH3CH2OH, when it is with concentrated H2SO4, we are taking this, and from this H plus is getting onto this, and where we are getting protonated alcohol. And in step 2, this protonated alcohol, that is CH3CH2OH2 plus, will undergo dehydration, that is water will go out, forming carbocation like this. And in step 3, now just to observe, this is alpha carbon. From that alpha carbon altogether OH is going out. And now in step 3, this CH3 CH2 plus of this, one of the hydrogen from this beta carbon is abstracted by the base, that is nothing but here it can be considered as HSO4 minus. When it is taking that, this base is this anionic part, it is of now set to this, and where it is forming CH2CH2. Like that, the elimination involves formation of carbocation, and after formation of carbocation, from beta carbon the hydrogen is abstracted by the base, and where it is forming the alkene. These are the steps involved. Just now you observe, altogether it is alpha carbon and it is beta carbon. Now alpha beta unsaturation is happened. That's why it is known as alpha beta elimination. And just you remember, previous one is alpha alpha elimination. If these two common, so simply it is previous one is known as alpha elimination, and now this can be simply alpha beta, or simply you can consider as beta elimination. Only beta elimination. Beta elimination indirectly indicates that it is alpha beta elimination. Clear? And this alpha beta elimination also known as 1-2 elimination, because here the groups are from adjacent. It is 1-2, 1-2 elimination. Clear? That is about elimination reactions in alcohols. But here, before concluding these elimination reactions, let me refer the Sage's and Hoffman rules. This alpha beta elimination, when it is of having the chance to form only one kind of alkene, say for example if it is CH3 CH2OH, when it is treated with concentrated H2SO4, it is giving alkene like this, no other option is there. And in case if it is propanol, that is nothing but propyl alcohol, either 1-propanol or it is secondary alcohol, that is nothing but 2-propanol. In both these two cases, when it is treated with concentrated H2SO4, when water is eliminated, the product is same, that is nothing but CH3 CH double bond CH2, here also CH3 CH double bond CH2. Are you following? That means whether it is primary or secondary, from this substrate, from this compound, only one kind of alkene is possible. So till this we need not worry about, because directly only one product will form, directly we can imagine the formation of such product. But now you observe one more alcohol, it is secondary butyl alcohol like this. Now when it is treated with concentrated H2SO4, you observe this is alpha carbon. So as usual in step 1, this OH group is protonated, no doubt at all. This OH group is protonated, and once it is protonated, after protonation of this OH group, it is undergoing elimination. Step 2, it is undergoing dehydration, that is water is going out, forming secondary carbocation, where this OH2 plus is going out, forming secondary carbocation like this, CH plus CH3. And now in step 3, if you observe here, after formation of this secondary carbocation, you can observe there are 2 beta hydrogens possible. Both these two are not same in this case, because one side it is methyl, the other side it is methylene. So once when it is methyl and methylene, both are not same. In such a case, we can expect 2 products formation. One is nothing but from this methylene group, if hydrogen is going out, it is forming CH3, CH double bond, CH, CH3. And in case if it is of removing hydrogen from this beta carbon, then it is forming CH3, CH2, CH double bond, CH2. It is 2 butene, just you observe, and it is 1 butene. And as we know, 2 butene is more stable because it is more substituted, and when compared to 1 butene. And now when 2 such alkenes are possible from the same substrate in alpha beta elimination, which is the major product? Just in this case we are of using Saint-Jacques rule. As per Saint-Jacques rule, during the elimination of any substrate which is of leading to the formation of 2 or more alkenes, it is always the alkene that is more stable. That simply we can say that the more substituted alkene is the major product. In the elimination, if the elimination reaction is providing 2 different alkenes, of them the major product is always more substituted alkene. That is Saint-Jacques rule, and that Saint-Jacques rule is also known as, just you remember, Zaitsev rule. Zaitsev rule or Saint-Jacques rule. And just you remember, if and when it is Saint-Jacques rule, when it is Saint-Jacques product, it is no doubt that major product is Saint-Jacques product, and here it is Hofmann product. Against to Saint-Jacques there is no anti-Saint-Jacques. Just you remember, like Markovnikov, anti-Markovnikov. Here against to Saint-Jacques there is no anti-Saint-Jacques. Just in case if it is of forming more substituted alkene, it is Saint-Jacques product. In case if it is less substituted alkene, it is just Hofmann product. There is no anti-Saint-Jacques. Are you following? So this is Hofmann product, which is minor product, and this is Saint-Jacques product, which is major product. Clear? That is about the eliminations of alcohols.